on the anti-double D Keno. I was secretly trying to do something behind the scenes, and I caught that 6 out of 7 and with the 2 times. So literally one number away from having something to brag about. But what's up, Rick? Rick is old style Keno is Chris's husband, Rick. So, oh my gosh, I'll give some storm updates for those not on the West Coast. The winds have died way down. Hey, John. John, my resident East Coast weatherman. The winds have died way down, which they kind of expected locally, but the heavy rains are still coming. So I'm actually, as soon as this interview is over, my wife and I are going to a funeral service for her best friend's mother, and then I have to go to work. I'm working all night long for critical care animal response. I'm on the critical care animal care response team. So we actually closed SeaWorld today. Hey, Brad Jones. Yeah, SeaWorld's closed today, but it's just me, 5 of my staff, and then enough animal care folks to keep everybody healthy on the animal side, and no guests, no non-essential employees, kind of like the COVID days. Keno Life, what's up, guys? All chiming in. Thank you guys so much. And Ann's notes, there's some heartfelt moments. There's some good family stuff. There's some great sports stuff, but her notes are pretty extensive. We're going to try to get through a lot this morning. She's raring to go. I'm loving doing these things. Did you guys get a chance to see the short notice Wednesday night meet up with Joel Livingston, a gentleman who reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'm new at this," and a lot of great guy. And his film festival was 2 days ago, and he sent me a couple of pics from the festival, and it went well. So hopefully, big things to come for him. Good morning, everybody. You got Jackie in the house. We got Doris, Dance Grady, Dino from Keno Life. Rick is old style Keno, so that's a new name we can hear now. We can cheer for Rick. Keno Kid. Bradley Jones in the house. Bradley Jones. We got the Yoshis on Thursday. I already have their notes ready to go. They have a great story to tell. So don't miss that on Thursday night right after Keno Club. With Quick Honey, they're going to Vegas again, man. But I mentioned in the chat on their live earlier this morning that Ellen and I, when we started in Yamava, we met Kelly and Jamie from Slot 500 Club. Ellen and I have been kind of on a tear. We've put $7,000 in the bank just from Keno wins from the last week, and then I won a poker tournament last night, and then the night before I played in the cash game and had a really good night. So yeah, it's been the faith in the gambling side of life is back, because I was so down in the dumps with the lack of winning. That the last week has been fun. We put money in the bank, paid off a couple things again. Always use your winnings productively, please. David H in the house. Brad Jones, can't take how much we appreciate you guys, all your efforts and on your own time and pushing everybody, not just mine, but you push everybody's product. It's amazing what you do. I appreciate you so much. Anise, I'm supposed to meet Anise. Niece is coming to town this week. We might meet Anise at a casino for sure, but I'm pretty sure we're having lunch. Hey, Glenn. Susan VP, my Canadian friend. How are you, sweetheart? Nicole Wyman, also now on the guest list for Let's Meet. She just joined recently. We're going to get her date set up for her. Keno Couple, Robin Brennan from Minnesota. We're just waiting for. There's Ann Stevens right there. Going to have her check in. Let's go. Excited for today. Hey, Ann.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm so well. Shift your camera down. Look, get your whole face in there. There we go.
No.
You look wonderful this morning.
Oh, thank you.
We just chatted about 30 minutes ago, and we just chatted about 30 minutes ago, and she goes, "Am I on camera?" I'm like, "Yes, you are." So we already got a bunch of people coming in, and everybody knows you from all our previous Palms meetup. You were our host at Keno Nation 4, and now you're back at Circa. We're going to get into that stuff. So good morning.
Good morning.
I have all my notes ready for you to go this morning, so we're going to jump right in, okay?
Sounds
Here we go. Let's
good.
go. Time for the ride, everybody. Join in. Any questions, please leave them in the chat. Sorry. Do you have another device in there that's echoing, Ann?
Nope.
How about that? Is that better? I did have that was me. Well, we're gonna move on. All right. Ann, tell us about Ohio.
What about it?
Well, you were born and raised born in Toledo, raised in Northwood.
Yep. About a mile away, about a mile out of Toledo border. My grandmother
Really?
lived in yeah, my grandma lived in Toledo.
Okay.
So
And you're
I was only there till I was 13. And
yeah,
then
yeah. Yeah, you moved to
so
Vegas very young.
oh yeah. Lived
13.
yeah. Been out here
What
since
so what did your parents, because your parents John and Jean, first of all, married 56 years,
oh
which
yeah.
which is a lot of our viewers in this channel, and we've had some things, a lot of parents that have been 56 years is quite an accomplishment.
Well, it's more than I could do.
That's what it says in that's what it says in your notes. Um, what did your folks do?
My dad was manufacturing, uh, worked manufacturing pretty much all of his life. My mom worked as a nurse in a private doctor office.
Wow,
And, and then they both retired and now they're both back working. She works as a teacher's assistant
no
for
way.
for a school district. And my dad works in a parts store, a retail store here in town.
You know what? So may I ask their age and that what age did you go back to work?
Well, she went back to work probably a year or two after she retired.
Wow,
And then my dad went back probably about a year or so into
just to
retirement
keep the
just to
hands
do something.
busy and keep the brain going. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
My plan is, and if I hit the lottery, that's going to be a different plan. But my plan is actually to work at a casino and deal blackjack. Or I do want to be on the floor like you. That's my goal because I love people and I think it's a good fit for me. So I know all the games, I know all the work, So I think it's a good fit for me. So you're my reference. So
There you go.
so moved to Vegas at 13 and went to high school in Las Vegas. What high school did you go to?
I went to Las Vegas High School downtown. Down
Wow.
actually where Circa's at, down in that area.
That's amazing. My son's was a club basketball player, and we played something Christian high school near just outside of it. We've been in a bunch of high schools in the Vegas area, and you attended UNLV for a short period of time.
Very short.
Because
I
then
am
you're
not
not.
a school. I am not a school person.
That's what I wrote it down. It says not a schoolgirl.
No, no, not at all.
They've proven now that going to school and getting degrees is now equivalent to work experience. The level of compensation for both men and women are almost equal now because you can't replace work experience.
No, I think work experience is still better than.
Yeah,
I mean, you can learn a lot in books, right? But until
yeah,
you get on the floor and actually have to interact with people
yeah.
and customer
That
service end of it is
Yeah, and I said
definitely
it's the
experience.
people skills part is kind of a dying skill that the young folks there are because they're buried in a cell phone or they're buried in social media that they're actually talking to people is kind of a lost skill.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
not normal anymore.
yeah, yeah. Thanks everybody coming in. We got almost 30 in the room. So you got married, your first husband, and we won't go to that, but three lovely kids. No, but I don't want to talk about that because we got a great gentleman to talk about after that. But three great kids, Amanda, Michael, and Kirsty, out of that marriage, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are they up
Th-
to?
Oh, they all live here in Vegas.
Staying
My
home.
yeah, my oldest works at Stoney's Rockin' Country. She's a DJ, line dance instructor.
Mm.
And
We'll get into that story in a little bit too.
and then my youngest daughter is a stay-home mom. She had a baby a year and about 18 months
Oh, is
ago, I
that
guess.
your first grandchild?
Nope, second.
Second.
First little girl though.
Okay.
Little girls are special.
Are you a doting grandmother?
Oh, of course.
Absolutely.
Of course. And then
Um.
my
So
son
we're
just lives
good.
here too. So
Okay. So here's always a question. So local Las Vegas folks, are they gambling folks, or they usually kind of stay away because they know the dangers of the Vegas gambling lifestyle, or is it mixed?
I think it's a mixture because everybody is kind of from other areas, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's really there's not a lot of born and raised here, but there's a lot of people that come from other states that live here.
Yeah.
So I consider myself a born and raised person because I was here when I was
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
But like Scott and I, we don't really gamble. We'll go to the bar and we'll play video poker or something, have
But
a
to
couple
socialize.
drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. but we have our budget. We know what we can spend, and that's where we're
Budget,
at.
but guys, do we have a Keno budget?
Well, when you live in Vegas, you got to have a
Yeah,
budget.
yeah. Oh my gosh. I could.
Otherwise,
I always mention that Ellen and I said, let's go to Vegas because I couldn't live there. First of all, I get nosebleeds after 2 days because it's so dry and it takes getting used to. She says her skin crawls and it dries out. So
well, you
I
use
go,
lots of lotion.
okay, yeah. So,
Well, we're not dry
we're,
right now. We're not dry
right.
right
Well,
now.
yeah. So for the folks in that are following, it's a Southern California storm. The winds have died way down for you if you're just getting in the room, but the heavy rains are still coming. So I'm meeting with Ann this morning for an hour, and then I'm going to a funeral service for my wife's best friend's mother passed away, and she was our maid of honor in our wedding and all these other things. So we're doing that. But then I'm going to work the rest of the night. I'm on the critical animal care response team at SeaWorld. So we've sent all the guests. Parks closed today, which is rare on a Sunday. Parks closed today, and all non-essential employees. So my team of me and 5 people, enough animal care folks that are going to be there to take care of the animals. Because if you have heavy rains, all the pom-poms, there's a chance that a tree will fall into a pool, hit an animal. So I'm there to respond to any critical care issue. So I'll be there for like 16 hours tonight, and then get relieved tomorrow morning at 7. So I'll be at work all night. So part of the deal.
That sounds like
Um,
fun.
yeah. So it's a long night. So they'll order out, but most of the businesses in San Diego are closed. So I'm bringing a whole bag of food. I'm bringing a bunch of bagels for everybody who's working with me and stuff like that too. So we're going to skip forward to 2015, and you were down at Circa,
I was
and you,
downtown. Yeah.
yeah, and you tried because you had divorced and your kids were kind of Asian, and you tried something you never thought you'd do. And you in your notes, did you try normal dating or did you try something different? Well, normal now. What's normal anymore, right?
Apparently, it is normal anymore.
Yeah. So what'd you do?
I did some online dating.
And I've never done it. I don't even know how it works. The swiping left and right. Which one were you on?
So I was on Plenty of Fish, which was
I've heard of that
pretty
one.
much, yeah, it's kind of a hookup site.
Is it really?
That's what it was known for back in the day. Yeah.
So I'm pushing that button first. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You
But
get divorced.
but you met somebody.
Yes, I did. I met my husband.
Wow. Stacy Sample, our first guest, did the same thing. She met her husband, and it worked out really well. But it's kind of curious. Your notes on your first day were kind of you guys spent 6 hours hanging out at the Red Rock,
Yes,
and
we
then
did.
when the date ended, he didn't give you a kiss.
Nothing.
He shook
A handshake. A handshake. The best part was
he's,
when we got married, we didn't kiss. We handshook.
oh my gosh. That's hey, old fashioned. Scott, an old fashioned guy. Make sure that your virtue is safe the first night. We'll kiss on the second night, kind of thing.
It was just weird. I mean, it was like I guess he just wanted to be all prim and proper. I
You
don't
know what? We're a dying breed.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so funny though. But here's how life changes on a dime. In your note, and I read your notes. You go to work the next day, and
Yeah, I get told that they're not going to renew my contract over at
lost your
Harris.
job the next day.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep. So I was on vacation for 6 months and we got to spend 6 months together, which was great.
So it went from
So,
a first date handshake to spending every day for the next 6 months together,
yep.
and just said, you know what, this is the right thing. We're going to get married.
I didn't want to. That was the thing. I told everybody I'm never getting remarried. I've already been in there, done
Yeah.
that, did everything right. And Scott was like, I want to be married. I don't want to not be married. I'm like, it's a piece of paper. But it was a deal breaker for him. So,
Shaking hands.
yeah,
But
so we ended
you
up
know what?
married.
The man knew what he wanted. He wanted some Ann Stevens in his life forever, and he said, "I want to be married to you." And then you know what?
He's
Life's great.
and he's been the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, see,
So,
that's the best thing ever. So
absolutely.
thanks for not kissing her on the cheek. Who knew? Let's say if you'd have made out crazy somewhere in the back, back of the car like teenagers, if it had been the same thing. That's so funny.
Right?
So funny. So before the casino lifestyle, I read some of your bio too. Is you worked at Solo Cup?
I did.
What'd you
I
do
worked in
there?
was a six press color operating printer operator. So I ran a six color printing press that
Is it
printed
solo?
the
Solo cups are all red, aren't they? I'm
well,
just
the
kidding.
plastic ones were.
Okay.
So they actually did styrofoam, the coffee cups
Oh,
for
didn't
like
put two
7
two together.
Eleven.
Hmm.
So the 7-Eleven logo and stuff, that was one of them that I did back years ago.
Yeah,
But
isn't it
yeah,
amazing how there's a million ways to make a living? I mean, who knew
right?
that making plastic cups and styrofoam cups is we use and we all use them. Crazy. But you also so then how you were there for how long?
I think I worked at Solo for about 15 years.
And that was wow. And that was kind of tedious. You said labor intensive work too, right?
Oh yeah, I moved 500 roll foam around all day long,
Yeah.
setting it up, ink. I was in the best shape of my life back then, though.
Man, oh man. Yeah, my first job and I was in high school and I was trying to find a career. Didn't know what I was. I was a baseball player, but looking for something to do. And my first job ever was a patient escort at the Balboa Navy Hospital. I worked in the emergency room and I would escort patients to and from surgery, pushing the gurney. And I'm some young stupid kid in 11th grader, and also ran the lab samplings from the room to the lab and saw stuff I never thought I'd see. Fetuses that
Oh,
stillborns, and I'm like, I didn't know what I was going to do, and well, I'm not doing this career. And then my first real job before between my graduation and going to college and playing baseball was I worked for the California Conservation Corps. I dig ditches and put in sprinkler systems in parks around the city. So kept me in shape for baseball. But yeah, that was backbreaking. We're just digging every day and gluing pipe together, and that was. Oof. But we all have our paths. And there here I'm talking to you. So that's where the. But you got out of the solo cup industry and you got your first crack at State Line.
I did. Out at Prim, I started in events. There was a group of skating moms. My daughter figure skated.
Really?
Yep. So there was a smaller group of figure skater moms that were doing events, decorations, and Prim was one of the places they were doing it at, and that's where I started out. And I moved from that to just special events in general, and
Mm,
then a host position came open out there, and they asked me if I wanted to try it, and I've been doing it ever since.
that's crazy. Um,
So,
I for those who don't know in the Southern California or the Vegas areas, if you leave the LA San Diego area and you drive into Vegas, you pass State Line, which had originally everybody used to talk about Whiskey Pete's, and Whiskey Pete's was right there, but across the street from which there's a bridge that they have a little shuttle that goes across, and it's Prim Valley and Buffalo Bills and right there at
yep.
State Line, and COVID kind of killed that whole corner for a while. I think I think Bill is Bill still down?
I think Bill's is open and Whiskey's open, but I don't think Prim's open.
Yeah, yeah. Because State Line is it's a lot of it's that transient traffic, and hey, we're
Yep.
gonna take one last shot when you leave Vegas down. And we're gonna stop at State Line and hit that one last try before you go home.
Oh yeah,
But they
absolutely.
do a good. It has a very local feel. And you got the lottery. You got the lottery, the California lottery booth right there, right on the State Line. And that line, when the big pools, that line is long because all the Vegas folks drive right to the California side. It's literally 1 foot on either side of the state line, and then the lottery office is right there, and the line gets long in those big draws. I can't imagine when the Mega and the Power were that big. The lines are probably really long.
Oh yeah, they were around the building.
Man,
Around the building.
yeah, and they got every scratcher known to man in that building too. We've been in there a couple times just to see.
I actually hadn't been out there in that building until recently. And I was like, wow, this is way bigger than I thought. I thought it was like
Mm,
a little store, right? But it's
yeah,
not even a store, it's all lotto. The whole thing
yeah,
is
all
all
auto.
lotto.
I mean, if you can imagine, it's like your normal standard, like 1,500 square foot home. It's wall to wall. Every scratcher ticket they've ever made is it. There's hundreds of them,
Yep.
and then the 4 or 5 windows where you buy the megas, the powers, and the supers. So crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy when we were out there.
Yeah. I had mentioned in a chat earlier that Quick Honeys, there was a lady at our local Saquon on Thursday. They have Keno progressive machines, and there was a power Keno, and she hit 10 out of 10 on the front screen without getting a bonus, and it was a progressive of $2 bet, $95,000. So that was 4 days ago in San Diego. So I've been trying to play that progressive on and off for a while, and the lady hit it on Thursday. So $2 for almost 100 grand. So So you were at Prim for a while, and then you moved to Vegas and got into Harris.
Yep.
Same role, executive host or player
Yeah,
host.
yep, executive host there.
Yeah.
So I was there for about 5 years.
What's your favorite part of the host part?
Well, I like the interaction with the customers. I
Yeah.
mean, that's building the relationship with the customers is learning about the customer, their
Yeah.
relation, their families, different stuff like that. That's how
When I read your
always the best
notes,
part.
I thought of that because you and I are very close friends now, and all because of meeting you and the connection that Eddie said, hey, go talk to Ann. She's really great, blah, blah, blah. You and I talk at least, or chat or text at least once, a couple times a month now. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
not even asking about casino stuff. So how you doing, Ann? How was your trip? You checked on you checked on my trip. It's, I consider you a very close friend now. Um, and we don't talk casino stuff. Most of the time we don't talk casino stuff. We talk each other. So, um,
Well, that's really what it's about. Is
it's all
it's
about
not
people.
always, yeah, it's about the
Yeah.
people. It's not really
Yeah.
about the casino because you're going to be dedicated and loyal to the more of the person than the
Yeah.
casino at the end of the day.
So
So
I know this for a fact. You were a short period of time. You were at the Palms, and then um, somebody came calling and brought you back.
yeah, I was at the Palms for a year. I opened the property when
Yeah, I remember
San
talking to you right off
Manuel,
the bat.
yeah, when San Manuel bought it. We opened it up. I was there for a year, and then I ended up back downtown with Derek Stevens'
Derek
group.
Stevens,
Yep,
Circa Las Vegas, who
Circa
does an
Las
amazing
Vegas.
job. They've changed the look of downtown. There's a premium property right in the heart of old school Vegas.
Oh yeah, and a lot of the other owners now, you got Plaza. They've put the Carousel bar in out in front. They've
Yeah,
remodeled some of their stuff, so
yeah,
they're fixing it up.
yeah.
Um, California's
Free,
remodeled.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Fremont. I mean, your three properties, Circus. If you guys don't know, the D, um, the Golden Gate and Circa. That Derek Stevens started the Golden Gate and built that little empire up, and then he created the D used to be the Fitzgerald,
Yep.
the property of the Fitzgerald. He created the D, and then with all of his success as a casino owner, built Circa, which is probably, in my opinion, the premium sports betting experience I've ever been to. I mean, with the pools and you're outdoor, you can bet, and it's one of the most amazing venues to bet sports I've ever been to.
Oh yeah, and right now we're actually doing viewing parties at Stadium Swim
Wow.
for UFC.
Yeah, the fights and
So
stuff.
like the fight last night was on at Stadium Swim on the 143-foot, that
It's
huge screen
incredible.
out there, right?
Yeah,
Even in the
yeah,
rain here in Vegas, there's
yeah,
still a ton of people.
yeah. And if the
Um,
viewers are watching, Ann Stevens if you want to reach out to Ann Stevens, just reach out because she loves the Keno Nation folks. She's been talking to me about the Keno Nation stuff for 3 years now, and um, we've sent some emails out to Ann Stevens and her Circa folks to see if we can negotiate something. We've been talking, but we didn't want to say, but Circa is one of the options for our Keno Nation 6. And Brian's working with Ann Stevens on the side like that. We're still not mentioning any dates or stuff because people are talking, and um, they've asked us to come back down, so it's kind of fun.
yeah, so we'll see what happens. I know they've got the paperwork, management does. They're
Yeah,
looking at what they
yeah,
can do. So we'll see.
yeah. That's awesome. We loved it down there. And Derek, when I was down there the two times we did it at Circa, he came up and shook my hand when we were there, and got in our live video stream wearing his Michigan Wolverines sports jacket, and
Oh yeah.
it was really
Well, they've
cool.
got that huge Circa Millions sports
The football,
contest,
oh
right? The
my
football
God,
contest,
what
right? 14,
14 million now,
14
right?
million. 14
And
million.
it's
Yeah.
it's 1,000 to get in. If I remember, it's 1,000 to get in, and the list of people who are buying into those tickets are amazing. It's
Oh yeah,
just
it's a
ticket.
thousand per time. You can get in. You can buy up to 10 of them. You can get
Mm,
in. You can purchase 10 different ones between Survivor and Circa Millions. So there's
yeah,
two different contests. So
and that contest is you don't even have to bet the spread. You just have to pick a winning football team every week, not the spread, just winning, and then you cannot use that team again in your picks. It's called Survivor. So the
so
next week
that's
you have
Survivor. Yep.
yeah, so you have 29 teams left. So whoever lasts the longest, I think it was four players tied at the end, and they chopped the winning pool up four different ways, if I remember right.
I think that's what they did last year.
Yeah, because four guys survived, but they were down to like two teams each, and they all picked the week 17. They picked the right team, and then all four chopped it. So, which is a
Right.
pretty penny, yeah. And
And
now
then the
the
other,
price pool jumped. It went from 10 million to 14 million.
yeah, because then you've got the millions too. So you can pick you pick the team, 5 teams against the
Yeah,
spread every
that's
week.
crazy. It's
So
such a, it's we. I've played Survivor pools for $100. I couldn't imagine playing for $14 million. It's crazy.
now and it's super popular. I mean, he's getting a lot of signups right now for it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's crazy.
they look to do really well.
Yeah, please go down and check out. If you guys are in the chat and you're coming down for Kingdom Nation 6, please go check out the Circa. It's an amazing property right in the heart of downtown, and you access to Fremont's right there at the side door. Two different entrances to the Fremont Street. You guys have all watched the guys walking around and showing Fremont stuff. The Circa's right there in the heart of all that. Concerts right out the door. There's another concert every night. It's a fun place to be. Fremont used to be kind of a dive kind of thing. It's fun now. There's so much to see at Fremont right now, right outside the door of Circa.
Yeah,
So
it's super popular down there.
yeah.
Everybody love, you can jump from casino to casino without walking a mile too.
Yeah.
So
So there, besides on your free time, what do you like doing in Vegas that we
in
would love to hear
Vegas,
about?
I leave Vegas on my free time.
Ah,
No, no, no. We actually do hockey when hockey season's on.
yes.
We're season ticket holders, huge Golden Knights fans. Um, we go to the Aviators games, the baseball team that's
Okay.
here, the minor league team,
Yeah.
because we haven't stolen the A's yet from
Coming.
Oakland.
Yeah. I saw the renderings
Supposedly
where they're going to tear
coming.
down
Yep,
Tropicana, right?
yep. That's what the rumor is, anyhow. That's what they keep saying. So we'll see.
So John
Mm,
Graham has a question for you right in the chat. John Graham, what's the funniest casino host story that you have?
the funniest? I don't know if there's anything really. I don't know. Maybe when I fell.
You fell?
Yeah,
What?
Harris. I did a leapfrog. I fell. I didn't see a step, and I missed. I just went down on both knees and popped up like a frog.
No, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
Yep, exactly.
But I know you probably have that guy that's probably lost all his money story a couple times throughout your career as a host.
Oh, you got the guy that's lost all the money, wanting to know if you can help him get some money.
Yeah.
You've got the you've got the guys that pick up the young ladies, and take them to the room, and then the next thing you know is now they have no money.
Oh man,
So
that's man.
yeah,
I've only heard stories about that, but
that does happen.
yeah,
Um, got to be
little
careful on who you're picking up.
a little roofie, and you wake up and everything's gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then you got to go home to the wife and say what happened, or not tell her. I don't know how that works.
I was gonna say I don't know if I'd be telling her.
They're all dropping names of your restaurants. If you haven't been to the steakhouse at Circa, I've been. It's amazing. And then Saginaw's is a great New York deli style restaurant. They're all mentioned Saginaw's. I've been to Saginaw's. And then if you haven't, my wife and I love Chinese food. 8 East is amazing up on the second
80s is
floor. 8 East is awesome.
yeah, I like 80s. I like the brisket fried rice,
Yeah. But
and
they
you can
always
get
have
the
a
shrimp
special.
fried rice.
And they have a special all the time is the Wagyu steak with oh God, it's so good.
Yep, they have that too.
Yeah. The restaurants at Circa. Then they have the mom and pop that does the soda fountain with the hamburgers and the shakes, and then uh, it's great. I love Circa. So in between becoming a hockey fan, because Scott was a former fan of a different team, correct?
Yes, he's
Yeah,
originally from Tampa Bay,
yeah.
so
Lightning.
followed Tampa Bay Lightning for years. Season
Yeah,
ticket holder when he lived down there. So
yeah,
still his heart is still there.
yeah. So you mentioned your notes, and it's going to be. I don't. I want you to talk about it, but between becoming a Vegas hockey fan. They only been in town 6, 7 years now. I think
Six
they went
years.
to the finals their first year, which is crazy.
Yeah, and it was crazy. That was like the dream season, right? That first season that you ever have.
Yeah,
You first get a team, it's the first time you get a team, and they're going to the cup final.
yeah. Somebody asked who are your. They want to know any high rollers in your list of casino hosts. They want to know any high rollers that we would be aware of.
Uh, no, I won't drop. I can't be dropping names like that. That's not
Ah, good
cool.
girl, good girl. You don't know who's watching. So there's something you mentioned in your notes, and I want you to talk about because it's one of those moments that will change your life, or could have changed your life forever in a wrong way. Your daughter teaches line dancing. She was teaching line dancing at a concert in Vegas, correct?
Yep, she was teaching silent line dancing at the Harvest 91 Harvest Festival back
During
in
the guy that shot
2017. Yep,
when you got the call.
so got a call that there was something going on down there and that she was down there because I knew she was working down there.
Yeah.
And she called and I asked her if she was okay. And she's like, there's fireworks or something going off. And I said, I don't think that's fireworks because the news had come on and they
Mm.
had said that there was a shooting going on down there at that time. So I said, well,
Yeah,
get under the
Mandalay.
stage. Yeah, at
Yeah.
Mandalay. And I told her, I said, well, where are you at? She goes, we're in the tent. And I said, well, get under the stage and just stay put. I said, Scott and I will be in the car on the way down to get you. And she's like, everybody's running everywhere. And I'm like, just stay where you're at. So she stayed underneath the stage. And then she had called and said that they, security or officers had told them that they had to evacuate the venue. So she's like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. And we told her where to meet us. So then she walked down to where we could get to her. And we found her in the crowd of people that were going everywhere down there. Um, Found her in the crowd, got her in the car. And then we had a young man that had come up to
Right.
us. So there was a young man that had come up. There was a cabbies in this town are terrible. I just have to say. But there was some of the cabs were overcharging these poor people. And so this young man was trying to get a cab to go to a hospital where his girlfriend or fiance was.
Mm.
And he's like, the cabbie want him to pay like $200. Oh, it's $200. I'll take you there, or whatever. And
In the
so
middle of a
Scott's,
crisis.
yeah, yeah, it was crazy. And so he knocked on the window. We were putting my daughter in the car and knocked on. He's like, "Can you guys take us? I need to get to the hospital." And so Scott, being Scott, he's like, "Yeah, get in. We'll take you there." So never really got his name. We had the kids in the back of the
Hmm.
car. Took him to the hospital he needed to go to. Dropped him off, and I don't even know whatever happened. We don't even know whatever happened because we didn't
Wow.
know who they were or anything. So,
That's insane.
but yeah, it
Yeah.
was it was one of those where you go, what's going to happen when by the time you get down there because they had roads blocked off,
Yeah.
so you had to go around different ways to get into different areas so you could find them. So, but
Yeah, I've never understood how people make a decision like that to pull. I don't know what do you have? I don't know, 6 or 7 automatic weapons and just bust out a window and just start shooting random people who are trying to have a good time at a concert. It's just insane to me.
oh yeah, it was something I never ever would have thought I would have ever seen
Yeah, yeah,
here in Vegas. I just,
my
you don't think it would ever happen to you or where you live until it actually happens,
yeah.
and it's like, it changes everything on how you look at things.
We're such a reactionary people, as I'll just say, people in general. We always have up with the safety things after something big has happened. And my brother David and I talked because my both my brothers are retired police officers, and he was in homicide his last 3 years, and he talked about what people have done to people. And not to get really sad, but he goes, I go, why? How could a guy do that? And he goes, because Jim, you think rationally. Irrational people do irrational things, and they don't think the way you think, and that's why you can never understand why somebody would get in a tower of a building on the 50th or 60th floor and just open up fire on thousands of people standing there having a good time at a concert. It's just you would never think that way, but that's why you're rational, and that guy's irrational. And that's the nicest way of saying it, but
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think. I mean, she had a couple of her friends that were there that had gotten shot, and one of them had passed away.
yeah.
So, I mean, she says it didn't change her, but I
Mm,
still think it changed her in some form.
yeah.
I mean, to some
Got that
extent.
always know where you're at, looking over your shoulder kind of thing before I get in my car or the
Yeah, but it's funny with her because she was like, it's not going to dictate
yeah,
what I like to do, right?
yeah,
So she's a festival goer. That's what she
yeah,
likes to do,
yeah.
So she's like, I'm still going to those because one random person's not going to take what I enjoy doing away. So she still does all that. She's very outgoing, and hey, I give it to her because not. I don't know if I could.
Mm,
I'd have to think twice about it
yeah,
before I would go into a large group like
yeah,
that again.
yeah. Because that phone call could have been a different call.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
absolutely,
man, oh man, that's
absolutely. And I
crazy.
stayed on the phone with her pretty much. She had her phone on speaker pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
So anything that was happening, she was direct
Mm.
line to me. So
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it all worked out for your family. It didn't. It didn't for a very
no,
large portion of families.
it definitely didn't for a very large portion of the
Yeah.
families here.
Crazy. We're going to segue back to some fun news. So the hockey team made the finals this first year, and then your season ticket holders, and you text me the next day, Bubba, I'm at Game 5, and we're Stanley Cup champs.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! And you're there.
Yeah, this last year it was amazing being there. I mean, I can't even express how emotional it was. And
Mm,
I'm not even a hockey, we don't play. We're just the fans, right?
right. Right. I can't wait to cry when my team wins something. I don't even know what it feels like.
So, I mean, it was amazing and just I think the city's still rearing on it
Yeah.
that it hasn't actually set in until they raise the banner in the arena on October 10th.
Can't wait. It's
Date,
a month and a half away, man. 2 months
hey,
away.
date is circled. Time off has been requested.
Because the Chargers were here and they made the Super Bowl, and the Padres have been to two World Series, and all three of those teams got blown out in their championship events. But San Diego State Aztecs, which you guys all know I'm a big follower of, made the national championship game and played a tough game and lost. Um, I don't know what this town would do if this San Diego town ever found a winner. I don't even know what to do. I've heard towns blow up cars and turn things and climb lampposts and all these other things. And um, I think we would just all sit down and cry because we're the also ran team. We always get there. And now that San Diego State was just getting ready to join the Pac-12, and I don't know if you follow sports that far, but the Pac-12 just dissolved. All the teams left the conference, and we always feel like the little brother school in college sports because San Diego State's in a kind of a weird Mountain West conference that doesn't really have a lot of success in a lot of things. And we're like the big fish in a small pond, and as you get bigger, every pond gets bigger fish, and you got to take your lumps. And San Diego State's that big fish in a small pond right now. We need to get into the bigger pond.
our
But it's
college teams have been terrible. So
yeah. And
for a while
I
now.
was curious, being that um, right there in the heart of all that entertainment would get more recruits for multiple sports. But do you know if there rules that the kids cannot be in gambling, they can't be in casinos, they can't do certain things? I
Well,
don't even
most
know.
college kids are under 21 until what their
Their senior year, yeah,
senior year.
yeah,
So, I mean, I don't think there's any rules. I just think
yeah,
they can't, that you can't bet on teams in
yeah.
college.
Yeah, Chris, nice segue, huh? Wait from that tragic moment to segue to winning the Stanley Cup. Chris was talking because she's a lifelong Cubs fan, not a White Sox fan, just a Cubs fan. And when they won the World Series in 2016, after not winning it for almost 100 years, just she was talking about the joy and didn't know what to do. And you remember those little slight moments. I mean, I remember you texted me the next day, Bubba. I was that game. I was right there, and I couldn't imagine being there. Like,
No, I mean, it's a crazy feeling that you have. Like
yeah,
it's like an unbelievable, like this is actually going to happen.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I mean, they say,
And is your team good enough? The same players to be? They're good enough to win it again, right? They're young.
yeah, I mean, we have a really good shot again. We really only lost one player, substantial
Yeah,
player
yeah,
from that team, which was Riley Smith, and we traded him to the Penguins.
yeah,
So, but yeah, I think we have a good shot. It just depends on how much partying, if they can recover from the partying with the cup all year, if they're ready to play
That's right. Because
come
if
the
I
play.
remember right, they all get the cup for a week, and they can do whatever they want with the cup and drink out of it and bathe in it and take it around the
Oh
world.
yeah.
And there's
Well,
pictures of the Stanley Cup all over the world.
Oh yeah, it's in Europe right now. It's
Wow.
over in Europe right now with a bunch of the
Yeah.
guys. And but the parade down on the strip that they had was unbelievable, and I don't think any of them were sober at all.
The
So
so you guys are gearing up for a pretty big event. And I know you have all the basketball tournaments, but on the same week, we were going to come into town because the Aztecs are playing in the Vegas Continental Tire uh, Thanksgiving tournament. But there's a Formula One race coming, and they're tearing out the strip. But all the center divides are coming out for the race, right?
yeah, there's a section of that so the town's a mess on the strip right now because
Yeah,
they've been repaving, right? So they're repaving down behind Harrah's and off Koval, Spring Mountain, Flamingo, Las Vegas Boulevard.
yeah.
So I think Las Vegas Boulevard's down to like one lane in each direction
One
right now.
lane with that kind of
Yeah.
traffic is crazy.
So it's if you're an employee here, it's not as an employee in a casino, if I were on the strip, and especially in those properties, you definitely are not happy because it's taken them an hour to get back and forth to work and all
Yeah,
the traffic, right?
yeah.
Um, I will be out of town during the F1.
Good for you.
I'm yeah, Scott and I are doing a cruise, so we're
Oh, you and
actually
I have talked cruises a lot. We love cruising too. There's a
yeah.
question out there. Do you play Keno at all?
I play video keno.
And Doris goes, "Do you have a favorite set of numbers?" They're
Actually, I
asking in the
used
chat.
to have a set of numbers that I used to play, but now I play Scott's numbers because
What
he
are those
says,
numbers? Everybody likes to find that pattern that's
well,
working.
we play four card.
Yes.
So yeah, so he does like I don't know what is it. I'm trying to think of so there's a six spot underneath the 2, 3, and 5. There's like a
Okay.
six spot. And then there's another six spot that's like 12, 13, 14, and then 16, 18, and 20. I think 16, 18, 19, something like that.
We all
And
love the
then
upper section. We all live in the upper section. It's funny, as Keno players, nobody likes to play the bottom. It's just like one out of every 10 players plays the bottom. But we're all upstairs in that up like a birth.
well,
It's all like a birthday thing or something.
we play like a 10 spot. We play a random 10 spot, which is the top on the bottom.
Hmm.
And then the second row, the third row on the bottom. There's like a six spot in there.
Mm.
But for some reason, his six spots, he's always hitting like little threes. He'll get
Keep
threes, so he'll get a
keep
little bit, keep you
keeps you
playing,
going.
right?
Keeps you going. Keno's that thing. You can get half bets and keep playing. So
So
and then
yeah,
you hit
so
the
I
biggie.
ended up playing his numbers because at least he gets a little payback. I don't ever get any payback. My numbers just suck.
Yeah.
So I stopped playing them.
What are because you say you always like to leave Vegas for your social time. Is there anything in Vegas that I wouldn't even know about that other like you have a favorite restaurant that nobody knows about that you go to or
Well, I mean, there's anything off the strip, nobody's going to know because you don't travel out in the city, right?
yeah. Well, Ellen and I we love sushi. There's a sushi place over off Decatur we like to go to called Goyamon. We love Korean barbecue. There's a place called Baiwan over on Industrial. It's really good. And it's a late night place. They're open till like 4 in the morning, and you can get a full blown Korean barbecue at like midnight and have a tough time sleeping because of putting off
Oh
like.
yeah.
But we like to drift off the strip and eat because there's a lot of great restaurants that are not in the casino areas that are fantastic.
Yeah, so like if you go to some of the local casinos, like the stations, Red Rock, like Red
Yeah,
Rock's got Hanks up there, which is a steakhouse, which is really good. Um, I don't know, there's like so many different ones throughout the
yeah,
city that you can go to. Uh,
yeah.
You
Ellen
eat
and
a
I
lot
used
of
to go to
fast,
Petit.
eat a lot of fast food.
Yeah, there's a lot of do. Ellen and I used to go. There's a very famous Italian place right off by. Is it by? It's by Batista's. It's an old school,
Oh
the
yeah,
Guido Italian place,
yep.
or as Chris said, Goomba. You got to check out. Got to check out Batista's. It's in between. I think it's on Flamingo. Might
It's
be
on
Sahara.
Flamingo. It
Flamingo. Yeah,
sits, yeah, it sits back behind
yeah.
Cromwell.
Yes, it does. Yeah,
Yeah,
which used to
Cromwell.
be the Barbary Coast, which used to be um, something. Bills. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, Batista's because it's right next to between Bally's and um, that place. and it's an old school Italian family style. You order it's family style, and it's
Oh
really
yeah,
good.
the
Yeah,
food's really good in there. It's been in there. That restaurant's been there for God
yeah,
ever.
yeah. Check out Batista's; it's really good. They're all saying Batista's, Bradley's on Batista's. I love Batista's. But we're into sushi, so we go off. So there's a place on Decatur called Goyamon. It's all you can eat sushi, but it's not a buffet. It's they make to order. So when you order, it doesn't come right away. So it comes fresh, and it's like $26. Man, you can load up on sushi. Are you a sushi fan at all?
I have I have started.
Mm.
My my daughter has gotten me out, and actually, there's actually some that I like. I'm surprised myself.
Yes.
So, but yeah.
Well, and great seeing you, and off the normal calling you, and but love seeing your face. It's something you've become such a good friend of mine, and I can't wait to see you again. We're coming out to your place September 29th, 30th, and October 1st, and you're going to put us up at Circa, which is really cool. Can't wait to see you in person and give you a big old hug.
Yep,
Um,
I will be there.
that's right. Um, any questions left in the chat? We can give Ann a lovely day. Years ago, we went to a good Mexican restaurant down on the strip from Palms. Can't remember the name. I
On the
don't
strip.
know. We there's so much Mexican food in Southern California. We do not eat Mexican food in Las Vegas because nothing beats Southern California Mexican food. So, um, yeah, you can't when you leave the San Diego area or the LA area, all the Mexican food tastes like crap to me. So we stay local. Plus, we go across the border and get it too. Yeah, they're all
Yeah,
saying nice to get to know you, Ann. They're all saying in the chat now. They're glad everything's well with your family. Tell Scott we said hey, but thanks for coming out today.
well, thanks for having me. It's
Oh,
been fun.
yeah, it's been fun. I will see you in about a month or so.
Yes, hopefully all
September
this
29th.
rain, hopefully all this rain that we're getting is going
Yeah.
to be gone.
Yeah, I'm going to the thing today, and then I'll work all night long. So cheer for me as I'm working in the pouring rain because the
Well,
winds are getting the winds have died way down. They're like 20-mile-an-hour winds now, but the rain is going to pour.
I think you guys are getting it way worse than we are. We're just getting rain,
Yeah.
just rain. But we like the
Yeah.
rain here, so.
Yeah. Wow. Well, your town drains pretty fast though. San Diego does not drain fast at all.
Well, that's because you guys get a lot more of it than we do.
Yeah. Yeah. Some shout outs for the upcoming sessions. October this Thursday night, the Yoshi family, and it's not going to be about the casino stuff. It's all about their family stuff. Next Sunday, Elaine McGrew is August 27th. September 3rd, Diana Boyd. And then the following Thursday, we got Felix and Valerie from the Keno Warriors. And then on September 10th, Jackie from Slot City Travel. The much anticipated September 17th, Rainmaker. Can't wait to have him on September 24th, Chris and Lou. October 1st, I've mentioned a few times. October 1st is Billy Maritza. Billy is the jeweler to the celebrities. He's an appointment only jeweler for the NBA players and the Beverly Hills celebrity thing. Can't wait to share some of those stories. Hopefully, he has some dirt on some celebrities, some big time players. We take our vacation. We're going to Greece in the middle of October for a couple of weeks on a cruise, and appreciates that. We're on a cruise to Greece out of Rome, and then we come back. It's Becky A, and then on November 5th, it's Mike from Gamblers Unknown. We also have Bradley Jones is on the list of being a guest. We have Jennifer Nakayama, the CEO of the Oklahoma City Tourism Council. And then Nicole Weinman just signed up to be a guest on things. So, and then we're going to start the year on January 14th. Vanessa from Spangles is going to be our first guest in 2024. Ann Stevens, love you.
See you later.
Have a great day, everybody. Be safe. Stay out of the weather. Take care of each other. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.